If you're a real estate agent and you're scared of what people would see when they Google your name, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to pull up a couple of random real estate agents, audit their online presence from front to back, show you what I would do differently, and at the end, I'll show you a real life example of our client who went from looking invisible to looking like a top producer when people Googled their name. If you've ever wondered, do I look legit when people Google me? Stay till the end, you'll see the difference. And if we haven't met, my name is Woo Kim. I run linkme.co, which is a branding agency. And we work with real estate agents with helping them look legit when clients Google their name. Their Google, their reviews, website, socials, branding. I don't tell you what you should do. I show you what I actually do on real accounts with real clients. In this episode, the plan is simple. Number one, I'm going to run a Google Me test to a couple of random real estate agents. Number two, I'll share what I would do differently. And number three, I'll show you a real life example of what it looks like when you dial in your online presence. Let's start with our first agent. So the first agent we're going to run is Haley Bull. Welcome to the show. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type Haley Bull Realtor on an incognito mode. And let's take a look here. So first thing first, we see on the left-hand side her Realtor.com, Instagram, her company site, and her Facebook. What I don't see immediately here is I don't see any reviews. I don't see her Google page with her picture. I don't see her market. And that alone drops trust immediately. Imagine you just met her at an open house. You get back into your car, you look her up on your phone just to make sure she's legit, and you see this. No reviews, no photo. There's no indication as to how many people use her, what her transaction looks like, and if people trust her. And for those reasons, Haley Bull currently fails Google Me test. Let's now actually click through each link and see what she's being displayed as. So the first link is Realtor.com. If I click on her Realtor.com here, it looks like the agent's profile isn't ready to view yet. She hasn't fully set up her Realtor.com account. There's no picture, no reviews, no transactions, no bio, nothing like that. Next is we're going to click on her Instagram. Let's take a look here. It says Haley Bull Realtor, Boise, Idaho, Realtor, former science teacher, official hype woman for Rogan Rando. I'm not too sure what that is. Okay, so I like how she included what she did in the past. That's a personal element there. However, I would love to see how many years of experience you have, how many families she has helped. And I don't see any value elements such as call to action, get your buyer's guide, seller's guide, and that sort. Let's go to her company website. So it looks like this is a company website and meet our staff. So notice how I don't see Haley right away. For me to find Haley, I'm gonna have to scroll all the way down and look through Haley here, which most clients is not gonna take the time to do so. So right here, she just looks like just another agent from her group or brokerage. The next thing is her Facebook, Haley Bull. Let's click on this. And it looks like this is her personal account, real estate agent, salesperson at Boise Premier Real Estate. And right now, it doesn't look like she has a business page under her Facebook as of right now. So we looked at her Google presence, and right now what it's telling us is, I know she belongs to a company, Boise Premier Real Estate. She has her Instagram and her Facebook. However, there are no reviews, no recorded sales transaction, no personal website, and that right there is dropping trust so fast. If we just fix the three things, she would look way more professional, way more legit, and would build trust as soon as people Google her name. So here's what I would do differently if Haley were to be our client in order to blow up her online presence. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a Google business profile on the right-hand side here. That allows us to show Haley's photo, headshot right on the first page of Google. That'll allow us to get her reviews on the front page of Google. Enter her market, her socials, her bio, her website, so many different things right on the first page of Google when people search her name. So that's the first thing I would do there. Second thing I would do is I'll go to her Realtor.com and fully set up her Realtor.com profile with her headshot, website, bio, reviews, manually update all of her past transactions in here. Because frankly, what buyers and sellers are checking for is this agent legit? Can she or he help me sell my home smoothly? And is she a great negotiator? Because that's what we want when we're looking for agents. And the number one way to do that is by showing people, look, I've done this many transactions. The best way to predict the future is looking at the history. So updating your transaction records, whether it's on your Realtor.com, Zillow, or website, is one of the first things to look more credible. So if Haley were to be our client, I would build her own personal website. I will incorporate her video at her listing, opening doors on a call, on a laptop, to showcase Haley first, not the company. By the end of people reading your website, you want them to feel like they know you. And the best way to do that is incorporating personal elements such as videos, branded photos, things in that sort, to let people know they're looking at Haley Bull's page. And on our Facebook, I will create a business Facebook profile or business Facebook page and put in her contact information, her site, her socials, her branding, her logo, all that kind of good stuff. And the next random agent we're going to take a look at is John Sheehan, Realtor. Welcome to the show. So let's Google John Sheehan, Realtor, and see what we see here. All right, so John has a Google business profile that is verified and it has 147 5-star reviews. Great work, John. This is looking solid. We see his name here, and we see that he's a real estate agent in Savannah, Georgia. I don't see a picture of him though. I would love to see his headshot here instead of his clients here. And we see his office address, his cell phone number, the reviews, just profiles. And over on the left-hand side, I also see 15 5-star reviews on Facebook. So John, on the first page of Google, when people Google his name, he's got over 160 5-star reviews. And we see his Realtor.com, his Keller Williams brokerage website, and his Instagram. Does he pass the Google Me test? I'm gonna say yes, with a caveat. You've got a lot of reviews, you have a Google business profile, however, I don't see a face of you. So I wanna make sure I see your face first when I Google your name. But nonetheless, you passed the Google Me test. Congratulations. Let's click through each link and see what's up. So Realtor.com, let's click on it here. So John has fully set up his Realtor.com profile. You see his headshot here, 9 years of experience, that is good. 31 recent sales, his contact info, area served, and we see all the sales. 34 with buyers, 31 with sellers. That is great. Good job, John. Next, let's look at his Facebook. His Facebook, okay, check this out. His Facebook has an image of his personal logo as well as his company logo. He's got a picture, consists of name, John Sheehan Realtor. He's got his bio. This is his Facebook business profile. So John clearly knows what he's doing. His website here, and the last post he made was 1 day ago. Good job, John. Next is his website, Keller Williams site. So clicking under this, let's take a look here. So right off the bat, John, if I just removed your name and your logo, you look like any other agent from Keller Williams. Every Keller Williams agent has this exact same website. See his contact form here, interested, let's talk, first name, last name, email, phone, message, and these two massive disclaimer boxes that I have to check. I already know this form is not performing well. Why is that? Well, it looks like I'm gonna get bombarded with a bunch of marketing messages. Two big old terms of conditions I have to check. And frankly, there's not a clear value that I'm gonna get by giving you my contact information. So this type of generic contact us button usually don't perform well. And let's take a look at his Instagram here next. All right, so let's take a look here. John Sheehan Realtor, consistent username, that is good. His market is right in there, Savannah Realtor. So it looks like that's some type of his market, PC Sync to Feet Store. I'm not sure what that is. I'm obviously not from the area, but people that are from this area would know exactly what he's talking about, so that is good. He's speaking the language of his ideal customers. Lifelong local to Savannah, that is good. That's something unique about John. That's something I highly recommend every agent to showcase. If you've been a resident of a city for a while, say so. If you've been a third generation of Laguna Beach resident, say so, because that matters to clients who are either looking to sell or buy in that city. But again, John, I don't see the number of years of experience you have here. So on Realtor.com, you told me you have 9, so I would put it here. And I would also say how many families you've helped right on your bio. All right, John, so just to recap, John is looking pretty good online on Google. When people Google his name, he's got a lot of reviews. So here's everything I would do differently if John were to be our client. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use his headshot here instead of this client photo, because I want John to show up first and I want people to recognize his face. And if we scroll down on this Google page, right now he's missing products or services tab, where we can add buyer services, seller services, relocation assistant, trust sales, free home evaluation, things in that sort. The stuff that he actually does in his business, we can put them as services. So I would add services under your Google business profile here. And on Realtor.com, you look solid, so I have no feedback there. On your website, John, if we were to work together, I would build his personal website. Again, same deal as Haley. Personal website that showcases John, not the company. Video of him, photos of him, his stats, testimonials, lead captures for both buyers and sellers. So instead of having this generic contact us page here, I would implement 2 lead funnels. One for buyers and one for sellers. Here's how it works. As soon as people get onto your personal site, they see a video of you. So immediately in their brain, they just confirmed they're looking at the right agent's website. Next, we ask them 2 questions. Are you looking to buy a home or are you looking to sell a home? 2 buttons. If I click on I'm looking to sell a home, John would take me to the seller's page where he summarizes how the selling process works. And then he would tell me, hey, we have all these free resources. You can get a free seller's guide. You can get a free home evaluation. You can watch a video on how the selling process works. Just enter your email. Where should I send it to? You see, that type of lead capture crushes. Why? It's because we're giving them value in exchange for their contact information. And visitors looking at that clearly knows what the heck they're getting by giving you their contact information. So lead captures by giving them something of value for free in exchange for their contact information always will outperform a generic contact us form. Overall, John, you're looking pretty good. Let's move on to the next agent. So the next agent we have is Kaylee Green. Kaylee, welcome to the show. Let's Google Kaylee Green Realtor and see what she's being displayed as. Okay, let's take a look here. So Kaylee has her verified Google business profile with her headshot and her reviews. 7 reviews here. And her contact information's in here. She's got her Instagram, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and Instagram again. So Haley, right off the bat, I see a photo of you. I see some reviews. I see a verified Google business profile with your contact information. And I see your market and Google Maps. So Kaylee, congrats. You passed the Google Me test. Now let's actually click through each link and see what we can chef up. The first link is our Instagram here. Let me take a look. All right, Kaylee. So right off the bat, I see your headshot is different than the one you used on your Google page. Realtor, the McKay Group at eXp Realty, East Valley Homes, Airbnb, STR Investments at 30 plus STRs across AZ, top 1% of hosts in AZ. And she's missing a link or some type of call to action on her Instagram. Let's take a look at her Realtor.com. It looks like Kaylee didn't set up her Realtor.com. I don't see a picture, no bio, no contact, no past transactions. On Homes.com, it looks like she has her Homes.com set up. So if we look here, Kaylee Green, EXP, 7 closed sales in the past 5 years. Okay. 3 million total value in past 5 years, 4 sellers and 3 buyers. I think Kaylee has sold way more properties than 7 in 5 years because her last IG post, she posted like just listed or just sold, and I don't see that property on here. So Kaylee, it's really important that we update our past transactions on platforms like Zillow, Homes, Realtor.com, because this is where consumers check. My buddy just bought a house in Twin Cities, Minnesota. He got a couple agents referred to him, and he checked their Zillow account to see how many homes they bought or sold. And I remember him telling me he looked at this agent who had 4 properties recorded on her Zillow. The first thought he had was, okay, this agent is new. And he moved on to the next agent. And so if you have transaction history, tell the world by updating them on Realtor.com, Zillow, or Homes.com. That is one of the fastest ways to build credibility online. So Kaylee, here's what I would do differently if you are my client. So the first thing I'm going to do is on our Google page, headshot is really small. I can't really see your face. So what I would do is I would put your Instagram headshot right on your Google page. So your headshot is more enlarged and I can actually see your face. Next, it doesn't look like Kaylee has her website. I would build her personal site and include a button to her website on her Google business profile. And Kaylee, I would also link all of your socials right on your Google page and your services under. And on your Instagram, Kaylee, right now you're using technical jargons like STR. I think that stands for single something residence. I would, instead of STR, I would actually spell it out because most consumers are not going to know what STR means. So I would spell that out. And I would include a call to action. Something like, here's my top 10 Airbnb tricks. Here's my top 10 hosting guideline, and include a link. Ideally, a page on your website where you can give people free information in exchange for their contact info. We always want to be building our email list or lead list. On Realtor.com, Kaylee, I would set up this completely with your picture, bio, market, everything, and your past transactions. Something that my team and I always do with our clients is we would log into their MLS, grab all of their past transactions, and update it across Zillow, Realtor.com, and Homes.com. And Kaylee, same thing for you. I would build you a personal website that showcases you and positions you as the top tier agent in your market that feels premium, luxury, using videos, photos, your personal logo, and just having a website that wows people when they visit your page. You've got a great aesthetics on your Instagram. Your headshots feel really high quality. So let's reflect the same professionalism on your personal site and promote it everywhere. So you just saw 3 random agents across 3 random markets. And the question that comes up consistently is, do you look legit in 5 seconds, backed up by reviews and transactions that's updated? Do you have a personal website where you direct people to, where you're giving away free information or free resources in exchange for their contact info? And do you blend in with your company, or do you look like a cohesive personal brand that can be trusted everywhere? Every time I run these audits, I consistently see common mistakes agents make. Not having a personal site, not having a Google business profile, not collecting reviews, not updating their transaction history, and not establishing their personal brand. So many agents just blend in with their brokerage and they just look like every other agent from that office or that brokerage. The good news is, once you know what to fix, you can fix it. The greater news is, we can fix it for you. Let me show you what it actually looks like when you dial in your online presence. So this is one of our clients, Naim Olachea Realtor. And as soon as we Google his name, we see his headshot, we see his Google business profile, we see his market, and we see his reviews everywhere. 88 5 stars on Google, 25 on Zillow, 13 on Realtor.com, and 4 on Yelp. And his personal website shows up right as the first link, naimolachea.com. So here's the name of the game. We want to look legit as soon as people Google our name. How do we do that? Well, by showing our face, reviews, transactions, everywhere. Most real estate agents get business like this. Somebody refers them a client, and that's an easy business. They're gonna get that deal because you're already pre-vetted by whoever that referred you to them. That's easy business. The hard business, the meat left on the table, is when people get your name referred to them, they don't fully trust you yet, and so they do their research. After Googling your name, do you show up with reviews everywhere? And do you look like a high authority business that they can trust you with 6 to 7 figure asset? So for Naim, if I click on his Zillow, we see that he's got 8 sales in the last 12 months. We see his bio, 12 years of experience, and we see 68 recorded transactions right on his Zillow page. We also see for sale properties, letting us know that he's an active agent, that he's doing business as we speak. And we see a lot of reviews. Let's go to his Realtor.com. We see he's got 13 reviews. And if I scroll down here, he speaks Spanish. Again, letting us know that he's an active agent that does a lot of business. If we go to his website, we see a video of a listing that he sold. Awesome. And if I want to learn more about him, I'm going to go to Meet Naim, and where we can look at a video of him taking care of his horse. That's a personal element that people need to see when they visit your website. People don't do business with companies, they do business with individuals. So showing our personal elements via videos and photo is one of the best ways to build trust outside of reviews and transactions. So if I'm looking to sell a home, I can click on sell a home here, and I get to see how he markets his listings. He shows us cinematic videos of his marketing materials in the past.
8th Avenue in the city of Hesperia. The home shows pride of ownership and it's well maintained. Welcome to 131.
So sellers can feel confident that, okay, this guy clearly knows what he's doing. He's leveraging social media marketing, YouTube marketing, and using videos to market their home. He then says this: want to know how much your home is worth? Enter your address, your name, and submit, where people can get free home evaluation sent directly to them. Again, giving people something for free in exchange for their contact info. Let's take a look at buy a home. If I click on buy a home here, he shows us how the home buying process works. Initial consultation, property search and selection, negotiation and offers, due diligence and inspections, financing and closing process, and post-closing support. And take a look at this here. You can put in the purchase price, the mortgage terms, whatever the case may be, and get the result sent directly to your email. Again, we're giving people something for free that they will actually find value in exchange for their contact info. This type of lead capture is what crushes, not just a generic contact us page. Whether you're Haley, John, or Kaylee, or any other agent watching this, the core problems stay the same. Making sure we look highly credible, backed up by reviews, and updating our past transactions on popular platforms like Zillow and Realtor.com. Making sure we have a personal website where you can build trust by showing people personal elements as well as your personal brand. Giving people free value, free resources in exchange for their contact information. At the end of the day, if we get more leads by giving away free things, our business will go up. Yes? Yes. At the end of the day, more leads equal more money. So if you want more business, just give away more free things, ideally on your website. And establishing your personal brand outside of your company so they see a cohesive personal brand across Zillow, Realtor.com, your website, your socials, your Facebook, everywhere. And if you're watching this and thinking, honestly, I don't have time to do any of this, I just want someone to do this for you. Well, my team and I breathe this all day. This is exactly what we do every day. What we do is we build real estate brands in 28 days across your Google, your site, your socials, your branding, your logo, email signature, the whole 9 yards. And the best way to start is by getting your free brand analysis, where we do a full breakdown of your entire online presence from front to back. Just like what you just saw me do. We'll find the gaps, areas we can improve, and show you what needs to be fixed. And if you would like to get that free brand analysis, go to wookimofficial.com, or I'll include a link in the description. Click that link and request your free brand analysis. My name is Woo Kim. This was Google Me Test, the real estate brand makeover. I'll see you at the next episode.